Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, we're diving into some news in Raid Shadow Legends. By the way, I was gone for the weekend. Nothing to worry, like nothing happened or anything. I just actually just took a break for a couple of days. Very social weekend. We had lots of stuff on, and yeah, just stepped away from the computer. Fun, it's fun. So yeah, I'm back. Let's dive in. So first of all, this is already in the game, but we do have a summon pool, the heroic summon pool. It's not great, but it does have some turtles in there. Now, one thing to know about this straight away, there will be some events happening. And by the way, stay tuned because there's a Titan event starting this week. We'll get to that after we break down the summon pool. Um, there's almost definitely going to be some sort of summon event at the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You want to try save this, especially like the free ones that you get, or if you buy them, you're better off saving the pulls until Friday and just let it auto summon them on Friday. And that way you'll get points probably towards the summon event. That's not certain. We don't know for sure what type of summon event it will be, but often it usually is the case with these summon pools. That's the way to do it. Just because there's probably a bunch of new players. That are going to be doing this that have never seen one of these before, right? They might have joined for the turtles. So yeah, generally wait until the last day, but you can't buy any more of them on the last day, but you can summon them, and that's generally the best way to do it. Okay, in this one, so we've got the headline champions, then we've got regular legendaries. I mean, the bit of a problem here, the headline champions, we've got Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and April. So Donatello immediately is a problem because he was the fusion. We've just had a fragment event for him. So most of you watching will have got him if you wanted him. You will have him. So that's a headline champion most people just do not want. That being said, if you're a brand new player and you weren't able to do the fusion, which is very likely, you really have to play the game for a month, about pretty hardcore to do a fusion, and realistically like 3 to 6 months for more casual players. Yeah, it sort of depends on how hardcore versus casual you are and all of that. So in that case, getting Donatello would be good. I'm not a big fan of April. I think April kind of sucks, unfortunately. I'm just not a fan of her character in game. Yeah, like Nullify and Seal, they're decent debuffs, but they don't do that much. I don't like the randomness of whether she'll counterattack. I don't know. And the turn meter pushback, but Stone Skin kind of stops it. Not a big fan of her. Like, if I had her, I doubt I would use her, to be honest. So, not a huge fan of her. Now, Raphael and Leonardo, these are both good. I am expecting guaranteed events for them at some point. But they're both really good. There's no question that getting them is particularly good. Particularly Leonardo. He is the big catch from this summon pool by a long shot. Like, he is by far the best. Really strong. The more turtles you add, he starts ignoring more and more defense and hitting super hard. With 3 turtles for PvP, for siege, that sort of thing, this move hits incredibly hard, so that becomes just nuts getting the free activations when people start dropping low. Super strong. Yeah, the guy he's legit. He's really good. So yeah, Leonardo's the big one. Raphael just does damage, but he does good damage. I'm personally not a huge fan of Raphael. In the game either. I feel like he's just a damage dealer that sort of relies on gaining a berserk debuff on himself, and that's a bit awkward. Donatello can remove it. It makes him very squishy. All the sort of rest of stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit mixed on Raphael, but I think Leonardo is incredible. Donatello is an amazing support. I'll put out a guide for Donatello, I think tomorrow, and I'm not too big on April. So for me, the headline champions, I feel like it's kind of 50-50. Leo's a definite win. Donatello's a definite win if you don't have him. Raphael, great to have another turtle. They all synergize together. So, and April, I'm not a big fan of. I think the regular legendaries are really poor as well. It's probably the worst summon pool we've had. These will all help you a little bit for sure in the game. None of them are totally useless. You'll use them all a little bit, but none of them are that particularly good. I would say Corvus stands out as being quite good, actually. And he would help you a ton. He'd be super helpful for a new player. AoE poisons and poison sensitivity. Great. Then he's got increasing enemy debuffs, increasing your buffs. Got decreased attack A1. He decreases enemies under poison deal to you. It's really solid. He's a great support character. I'd say Valkyrie's quite helpful for support, for progression. For progression. getting through bosses and stuff. She's going to be really good against loads of bosses. Really big shield and counter attack on a 3-turn cooldown, and the shield lasts for 3 turns. Really solid for progression. So they're both very good for progression. The others would all help you a little bit, and these are champions you'll use a small amount, but none of them are particularly spectacular. Like Roshkard, he's fine for his block damage. You could build a clan boss team, and he's somewhat helpful for some Cursed City stages and somewhat helpful for faction wars, that sort of thing, but not great. Krokmar, great little damage dealer for faction wars. Cursed City, definitely you'll use them a bit, but you won't use them a lot. And so on. You get the gist, all the same sort of thing. Like Dracomorph, look, AoE decreased defense weaken. Good, but there's a lot of champs that do the same thing these days, but he's good. But yeah, and then the epics are quite strong, actually. So, for getting your free Prism pull from whatever events you can, or if you do decide, hey, I'm new to the game, I want to buy some for this, okay, sure. There's really good epics. Deacon is top tier. Stag Knight is top tier. So is Farrakhan. Phoenix is a good damage dealer as well. His A1, very strong. Mordecai, I would say, is a pretty top tier epic as well, with the burns. Venomage as well. The rest are okay. They're usable. Some of them are for the Lady Mikage fusion as well, which is good. I'd say Armina and Aina are a bit fairly mediocre. I think the rest are for the fusion. Jareg's quite decent, though. He'd be good. And then the rest, I think, are for the fusion. But yeah, these bottom 3 on the right plus Mordecai. In fact, the bottom 4 plus Mordecai and Venomage are really strong. So you've got at least a 50-50 to get a really, really, really good epic that you would use for ages on your account if you do your free pull or whatever. So yeah, it's a mixed Prism event. I feel like this event is mostly aimed at new players that have picked up the game for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they're like gonna get tempted to spend money to get a new legendary and some epics stuff. Really good epics, kind of bad legendaries, but hey, a bad legendary is great when you're a new player. And then obviously the turtle stuff as headlines. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd probably skip. I don't know. Sometimes I drop like $50 on a summon pool. To pull some on a video, see what we get, just for a bit of fun. We usually get nothing, right? You usually get shit all. But yeah, there you go. That's sort of that. I think it's kind of a meh summon pool. I personally think, for me, more likely to wait for some guaranteed events for these two. I probably don't care about April, and I've got Donatello basically in the bag already. Okay, now we've got the other news, and this is pretty good. So for Mortal Soulstones, interestingly, Mortal Soulstones only on Wednesday, that's 2 days' time, the 3rd of September. Awakening Boost, a 2x chance to summon for 5 and 6-star souls. I don't know why 5 is emphasized, but there it is. 4, 5, and 6-star souls from Mortal Soulstones. This is the best time to pull your Mortal Soulstones. It's the best boost that we've ever got. Basically, you come down here and it's going to double all of these chances. You kind of want, 5 and 6-star probably matter the most, but 4-star is pretty good, especially for damage dealers and stuff like that. 4-star can be enough to kind of unlock most of their potential. It's going to give you like about a 10% chance that you're going to get something pretty okay within each soulstone. Now, of course, 62% of the time, it's still going to be a rare, but nonetheless, this is the best chance to pull it, right? A 4, 5, or 6-star for epic, definitely for legendary, and definitely for mythical can be very, very useful. So there you go. Great time to pull it. But at the end of the day, they are still Mortal Soulstones. They still kind of suck. Still not really worth spending money on, for example, or worth thinking about too much. It's just the best chance. It's going to give you the most souls. So it's good. Up for 72 hours. I'm expecting there's going to be some sort of event with this, because also on Wednesday, we're going to launch a Smart Fella Titan event where you'll be able to get perfect souls for Donatello and other valuable stuff. So I'd be kind of surprised if these were totally separate. Maybe they are, but I could easily see, a Soul Chase tournament being something that's going to give you Titan event points towards this Donatello Titan event. So yeah, throughout the course of the Smart Fella Titan event, you'll be able to earn up to 490 pizza points during the first part from the 3rd to 7th of September, 670 during the second part from September 8th to 14th, and 590 during the last part, 15th to 23rd. So 1750 total, but you only need 1500 to unlock all the milestones. We'll come back to this in a second because it's the first time they've broken it up into thirds. The rewards, though, you have a St. Xavier's Tribute Relic, Last Laugh Amulet Relic, Donatello's 1, 3, and 5-star Perfect Souls. The rewards aren't great. I'll be honest. The rewards, not particularly good. Yeah, so St. Xavier's Tribute, this relic, you have a chance to get Veil at the end of your turn. Gets better the lower your HP is. It's giving you attack and accuracy. It's fairly niche. I think it's a pretty tough sell. Like, it's an okay Hydra progression relic. You put it on your Hydra damage dealer, someone like Thor that needs attack and accuracy. Small chance for Veil, gives you a small bit of damage reduction, Veil, and it will also protect you from True Fears, from the Head of Torment. It's okay, but it's really nothing special. I think it gets absolutely outclassed by Arethi Coronet, which is the same stats, but is effectively very quickly into the fight, giving you 30% more damage. So, yeah, what's better? After a few turns in the fight, a permanent 30% damage boost. It's way overtuned, by the way. A 30% damage boost, or whatever, like a 25% chance to get Veil for one turn. Obviously, 30% damage, all the time is way better. So, yeah, this one I'm not too sold on. It's okay, but it's nothing special. The Last Laugh Amulet, this one, again, attack, HP, crit damage. You're very unlikely to get the crit damage part, mostly attack. 30% chance to activate a delay effect when receiving fatal damage. That you can easily enough get that up to about 50, maybe 60%, but then it's really, really expensive to get it to level 5 and level 6. Like, I literally don't have a level 6 relic. I've got one relic with a level 5 effect, which I did for a mythical relic. So yeah, you're gonna get a mythical. You're more likely to have a mythical relic before you have the capability to put a relic to level 6, unless they change the game radically. Hopefully they will do at some point, but who knows? But yeah, so it's a chance to get a delay effect. So there's a decent chance that it just doesn't work and your character just dies. The way delay works is when you're about to die, you get the delay debuff, and then at the start of your turn, all the damage that would have happened happens at the start of your turn instead. But you can get killed, get one shot, trigger delay, and you'd still be at whatever full health. You've got the delay debuff. They can just kill you then, because this goes on cooldown. They can just kill you before you take a turn anyway, so you can just die to other hits. And then you'll die at the start of your turn. Unless it gets healed off. You can heal off the delay debuff, but you need a huge amount of healing. You can also stop it with like block damage or unkillable buffs and stuff like that. I think it's quite difficult to use. I think this relic has potential. It's worth probably getting one copy for some niche strategies and things like that. But I don't think it's also not essential. You could not get this relic and you probably would be okay. And also, if they ever add, which I think they really need to do, the ability to see what relics people have when you go into a fight. I think part of the value of this is the surprise factor. They think they're going to kill your champion. Ooh, surprise. Haha. You triggered the delay effect and you're stopped. You can kind of just use an Aspect of Siroth, and it does kind of the same sort of thing. Aspect of Siroth, you lose all your turn meter, which sucks, but it's got a shorter cooldown. With the Last Laugh Amulet, you don't lose all your turn meter. If you're in Stone Skin, they kind of work the same way, but Aspect of Siroth is more consistent. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sold on it. I think it's kind of mid. When we come to Donatello and his soul, then, let me just jump to a random support champion who'd be somewhat similar, say Mithrala. The soul is nice, but also not essential. So it's cool to have a soul. Let me just put me over here. But it's certainly not essential. For Donatello, you could go Intimidating Presence. It's okay. Makes your aura a bit better. Mostly this is just used for Arena to make speed auras stronger and weaker, because speed and going first is so important, crucial in Arena. It's okay, not essential. Lightning Cage is decent. It can protect some of his buffs. The main one for him is probably Cruelty. Would be the main one for Donatello, which is just when you hit an enemy, you decrease their defense. And Donatello, especially with other turtles, is going to be joining in the attacks very often. So you'll pretty quickly stack it up. This can give you, getting the 3-star soul should be pretty doable. And that would be the thing to sort of aim for. Up to 10% defense reduction for bosses. Going for the 5-star soul will be a lot more expensive. And yeah, it gives you 15% more defense reduction for bosses, and it stacks twice as fast. It's certainly an upgrade. It's certainly better. I definitely don't think it's essential. Yeah, certainly not essential. But yeah, for Donatello, you will get a big chunk of HP. In fact, let's click on a legendary blessing, makes it a bit more clear. You get a bunch of HP for a 1-star, which is really good for Donatello. Makes him heal for more, makes him do more damage. That's not too important, but it does happen. Makes him more survivable. That's great. Attack is totally useless. And then the defense is pretty decent because you're going to be building him with so much HP percent so that he heals for more. Some defense gives you some very efficient survivability. It's not as good in Arena or Siege, where people are using lots of ignore defense effects, so your defense gets ignored. But for PvE content, for bosses and dungeons, it's very good. So yeah, I would say Donatello, the 1-star soul is brilliant. And then the 3-star is pretty decent. I'd probably be going Cruelty. Sorry, we should look at some other stuff as well. If you're using him in Arena, he could be good in Life Harvest. He could be good in Polymorph. If you get him to 6-star, he'd be very good at Brimstone, but only at 6-star because you need it to be guaranteed. He doesn't build accuracy, so he won't land it much at 5-star. He'll land it a little bit because of this baseline accuracy and Great Hall bonuses and stuff like that, but he won't land it enough for it to really be too worthwhile. You probably just run it on Michelangelo instead, would make more sense, right, for a new player. So that's sort of where you're at. So yeah, coming back to this, St. Xavier's Tribute, Last Laugh Amulet, and Donatello's 1, 3, and 5-star soul, they're kind of really not essential. This is something that you could skip. And if you are concerned about saving resources for potential events for Leonardo, Raphael, potentially April, maybe Shredder. I think Shredder's the least likely to have events for him. I think he'll be very much a premium, buy him with real money type champion. But if you're concerned about stockpiling your resources to potentially target what I think are pretty likely guaranteed events like Decks of Fate, Heroes Paths, that sort of thing, later in this collab, this is very skippable, in my opinion. I really don't think you need this stuff much. And I honestly think you'll get probably the 3-star soul for Donatello is a good thing to aim for. And I think it's probably going to be pretty cheap. I'd say it's going to be the 1-star as Milestone 1, St. Xavier's Tribute for Milestone 2, then the 3-star for Milestone 3. So I think getting the 3-star soul should be quite easy for people, and it's still not essential, but quite easy. And then maybe Last Laugh Amulet is probably Milestone 4, and you can grab it if you want, but not too essential. So yeah, I feel like this is all very skippable. It's my thoughts, and might be the smart fella thing to do, might be to actually skip it. But see what other content creators think, of course. Get a variety of opinion. Let me know in the comments, but my inclination would be, if you've got loads of resources, if you spend money, then yeah, get it. Why not? But if you're low on resources, if you're free to play, if you're low spend, if you're a new player, definitely doesn't seem high priority. Even though Donatello's amazing, great champion, wouldn't chase this stuff too hard, to be honest. Yep. So first part is September 3rd. So we're talking about Wednesday to Sunday, and then we've got the 8th to the 14th. So a whole other week with some points. And then we've got actually pretty hefty amount of points, 15th to the 23rd. So this is going for quite a while. Yeah, it's going for quite a while. It seems like they're just going to have some soul events and summoning events. Yeah, summoning events and champ training and all that. Dungeon divers, tournaments for dungeons, whatever, spread out over this. It's a pretty even spread of points. The biggest chunk, 670, is next week, the 8th to the 14th. Yeah, and I would be expecting a new fusion maybe be starting somewhere around here. Maybe they'll wait until this is over, to be honest. So if this ends on September 23rd, I could easily see quite a big gap between fusions and they could start one on the 25th. That could be something that happens. It's a much bigger break between fusions than is normal, but it could happen. We'll see. We'll see. It's an interesting one in terms of what's going to happen here. It'd be kind of unusual, I feel like, to start a new fusion while there's still this Titan event going on. But they could have the end of this Titan event as well. It could happen. The Titan event going to the 23rd, they could have a new fusion start on, let's say, the 18th, which would be more normal. Start it on the 18th and have the first few fusion events actually be part of this Titan event. And you kind of have to do them if you're doing the fusion. That could happen as well. So watch out for that too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll come back obviously on Wednesday. We'll see is there an event with this. I'll definitely be pulling my Mortal Soul Stones anyway. I think just because where my resources are out. Go away. Where my resources are at. I've got loads of Mortals, but I've got a ton of Immortals saved up, and I've got a decent chunk of Eternals. Definitely want to save the Eternals for a 2x event. Would much rather use the Immortals as well for a 2x event, but they're decent for doing a deck of fate or something. If you need them, they're okay. Same with Eternals, but you rather save them for a 2x. Yeah, I'll pull my Mortals. We'll see if there's an event with it and how much it would cost. But there we go. Let me know your thoughts on all of this stuff down below. I feel like this stuff, honestly, I think the Mortal event is really good. I think the Titan event seems pretty skippable. Just do a pretty budget take on it. And I think this summon pool seems really good for a new player. So if you want to spend some money as a new player, you're like, I don't know, that seems a bit weird to me. Like, but yeah, I mean, if it's your favorite game ever, you've been playing for a couple of weeks, then yeah, great, it's solid. But to me, overall, it seems like one of the epics are good. The legendaries are terrible. The headline champions are hit or miss. It's one of the weaker summon pools, I would think. But yeah, it is a chance for the turtle, so I'm sure some people will go for it, regardless. But there we are. Yeah, I'll grab the free summon, and we'll see about it saving. I'll save my free summons for the weekend in case there is a summon event, which there likely is that it might give points for. So I'll be saving them and hoping, obviously, for Leonardo. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and goodbye.